Hey everybody, this is Stephanie Janisek. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we discuss the tragic tale of Disney Star Wars. George Lucas, here he is, sold Star Wars to Disney for $4.3 billion, and Disney subsequently stuck another $5 billion in investments into the franchise. And fans, aka customers, we will refer to fans as customers here, and shareholders were excited. Employees seemed like they were not very excited. It's just that nexus of employee, customer, and shareholder, that crossroads there just it stopped working once Disney bought the franchise. And it all comes down to who's actually working for Lucasfilm. So, Kathleen Kennedy, right before Lucasfilm was sold, was named president of Lucasfilm, and subsequently for The Last Jedi she hired this idiot, Rian Johnson, the guy who told Mark Hamill basically to shut up, the fans don't know what they're talking about, we're going to make what we want to make. Okay, I just want y'all to kind of wrap your minds around that. The customer doesn't know what they're talking about. The customer doesn't like it. My new Coke versus old Coke analogy stands because the fans wanted certain things in Star Wars, and now we're all pretty much convinced that neither Kennedy or Johnson have ever even seen the original trilogy. Now, a few weeks back, this guy, Bob Iger, had to go to a shareholders meeting and was basically had his payment, his compensation, voted down by the shareholders. And, you know, Disney's problems are company-wide, from ESPN's diving headfirst into social activism to the failure of Lucasfilm. Now let's talk a little bit about that. So Disney, the shareholders, invest about $9 billion in Star Wars. Okay. What did they expect in return? Well, they expected about, probably between $500 million and $1 billion a year in return, and they've actually expected, probably per movie made, they actually expected $20 billion in return eventually, within 10 years, let's say. Well, world-class bullshitters put up a couple of graphics that prove that. First off, the shareholders, that for, $0.3 billion that was invested to buy Star Wars, or the Lucasfilm, the rate of return is very low. It's if you look at the numbers, and I'll post their video here so you can see it, it's ridiculously low. It's the money that this graphic shows. I had thought, after talking to a few people, we thought Star Wars, after all of the or The Last Jedi, after production costs, marketing, etc., made between $500 million and $300 million, which, it's a Star Wars movie, that would be a flop. No, this graphic shows it's a lot worse. It's more like $266 million. And now we're told that production costs for this fiasco was $240 million, which is still over budget. $200 million should make a pretty decent, good Star Wars movie, but we're told it's $240 million. Either way, the movie is a flop. Whether, Rian Johnson doesn't want to believe it, that's fine. He, out of pure selfishness and ambition, jumped on the Star Wars bandwagon so he could get his name out there, and all he's done is made himself infamous. The idea that anybody would let him direct a cat food commercial now is, come on, give me a break. So, is it a flop? Well, look at the numbers. I've done videos on this. World-class bullshitters have done videos on this. Other people have. And it's pretty convincing now to me that Disney is trying to hide from everybody, including their shareholders, that they made no money in fact, lost money on The Last Jedi. The rate of return is dismal. Bob Iger has been called to the carpet by the shareholders, for basically, like I said, Disney's problems are company-wide, from ESPN to the bigotry going on at ABC News, to the chicanery going on at Lucasfilm, and and here's something, and the reason why I keep harping on the economics. When we all talk about, the social justice warrior shit and all the rest of this crap, it comes down to economics. And shareholders want their money back. I mean, think about Jabba saying, "Where's my spice? I want my money." They put a lot of money into this, and they're getting nothing in return. They're pissed. It's basic economics. So, you can extrapolate, our issues. We're not going back to see this movie. We're boycotting. We're not buying the shit, the merchandise, and we're not going to buy the book or the Blu-ray, okay? That translates into dollars lost. And that is how Disney Star Wars ends up just fizzling out and dying, or a regime change comes. And, and here's the reason why I think that is actually happening. Geeks and Gamers, Jeremy, had a video asking where Kathleen Kennedy is. The last real public statement she made is when, strangely enough, Jon Favreau was brought in to do a TV show. And I've said this before, but you don't bring a feature film director like him, very successful, who knows how to run a tight ship, to do TV shows. You just don't. The rumors that Solo is going to be a flop, that they, are still persistent. The fact that even seeing the trailer for that, for this movie coming out, just proves that it just looks ridiculous. And that actually comes down to casting, but I'm not going to get into it. But I don't know anybody who really wants to go see it. Now I know people that are going to go see it so they can talk about it on their videos. I'm going to be happily ignorant and get spoilers, okay? Because there's just no way I'm going to sit through 2 hours of Alden Ehrenreich cosplaying as Han Solo. It just ain't going to happen. So anyway, it just comes down to economics, and one failure after another. A Wrinkle in Time, I think, is a Disney movie. That's just a bomb. And of course, you talk about white privilege. The woman who directed it, because she's a black woman, just got another $100 million budgeted movie, I think, that is BS. A Wrinkle. I mean, who wants to sit for 2 hours seeing Oprah dressed up like a drag queen? I mean, come on, man. Yuck. But anyway, this is what's happening. This is what's going on. It's basic economics, and when the investors expect and demand a certain amount every year so they can, see their portfolios get bigger and their portfolios look like a tornado, look like a trailer park that a tornado just went through. They're going to be pretty pissed off, and they're going to want answers. And when that happens, people get fired. And, when you're making a movie, a big market movie, a big tentpole movie like a Star Wars movie, you've got to remember. And you also have to remember the fans aren't necessarily going to buy into your crap, and they're a lot smarter than you think they are. And there's lots of times when they know more about it than you do, and they're a lot better educated. And it appears, as far as Star Wars is concerned, that has happened. So this is my advice. The tragic tale of Disney Lucasfilm is, it's going to end up being a fiasco till they fix it. And if they do it right, and Disney's going to have to change to fit Lucasfilm. Okay, it's just going to have to change. It's going to have to allow for diversity of opinion where it doesn't have it there. And in order for Star Wars to work and Indiana Jones to work, they're going to have to allow a diversity of opinion, and back the fuck off of men. Especially, back the fuck off of alpha male white men, okay? Because that's who likes this stuff, okay? And women who like this stuff like me, okay? Because we're not going to see it. I mean, I'll go, and see the new Indiana Jones only because Harrison Ford is revising the role one last time, and I mean, I love Indy, so I'll go and pay homage. But as far as, Star Wars, no, I'm not going to do it. I am not going to. Kathleen Kennedy, like I've said, I don't think she's ever seen the original trilogy, or she doesn't understand it. No one's ever sat her down and explained to her Star Wars. You can bet your sweet Bippy that Mark Hamill went and talked to her about this, and she just went, we're just going to do what we want. Good. Mark doesn't know anything about what the fans want. He only goes to every fan convention there is. He doesn't know anything about that. He hears what we're saying, too. And also, and this is my last thing, during this tragic tale, Hamill seems to have gotten a little more confident about saying what he wants. Hence why I think things are changing. I think they're finally listening to him. You see Kennedy nowhere to be seen, Favreau coming in, the guys from the Games of Thrones, something's happening there. And and remember, it's you might not like the ideology behind it, because I sure as hell don't. But let's be practical here. That and our upset and our anger at Rian Johnson, Pablo Hidalgo, Kathleen Kennedy, and even J.J. Abrams, who should just get the masking tape and tape his own mouth shut, translates into dollars lost. And in the end, that's how we win, and that's how it gets changed. So this is Steph, signing out. See you around the galaxy.